How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battle. Today we're going against Pokemaster88 from the Discord server in the Smogon OU tier. Go ahead and join the Discord server. It's the best place to go for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battles right now. There is a link in the description down below. Today's battle was absolutely astounding. Seriously, Rotom-Wash over there was the MVP of the game, or it would have been the MVP of the game if it could hit any of its moves. Honestly, very frustrating, but at the same time, very fun match. My opponent plays really well. I can't wait for you guys to see it. Please like and subscribe for more videos like this one. And with that being said, let's jump into the battle. Looking at my opponent's team, we've got a Armarouge, Dragapult, Indeedee female, a Tinkaton, Gallade, and an Avalugg. It looks like a pretty solid team. Dragapult's definitely something we've got to be afraid of. And luckily, Chempao and Espathra are now banned, so don't have to worry about those anymore, which is awesome. Anyway, let's go with the Lycanroc lead, get the Stealth Rocks up. I think that's going to be important. The only hazard clear they've got is Avalugg, and that can be easily taken care of by a few Pokemon on our team. So let's just go with the Lycanroc lead. Ursaring is going to put some holes in their team pretty much. It should outspeed the Indeedee, which will be great. It should be able to do some decent damage to the Tinkaton. Should be able to do some decent damage to the Gallade. If we can get the Gallade to Sacred Sword us on a Terrestrialization, that'd be great. Avalugg as well is not going to appreciate a close combo or Facade from this thing, even because they don't have the snow, which is going to be great. So yeah, let's go with that. And the battle begins. So Chris over there is going to lead off with Indeedee as we let off with the Lycanroc. So Jaffa's coming in right now. This thing's just here basically to sell the Psychic Surge, I'm guessing, as it can just go for its whole shenanigans. So I'm going to go ahead and get the Stealth Rocks up now. I think that's an important play to make. I don't think Indeedee can really do anything to us other than just attacking us. So I'm going to go for the Stealth Rocks just to get them up. There we go. Go and get the Stealth Rocks up, which is always nice and dandy. Let's see what the Indeedee does here. It probably just goes for a Psychic, right, to get some damage off. As there it is. It goes for the Psychic, gets some damage off, which makes a lot of sense. Doesn't take us down to a Sash, luckily, and it does get a special defense drop, which is unfortunate, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter. Now I'm just going to go for a Stone Edge, just to get some damage off on Indeedee. I feel like that's the best play to go for. Stone Edge comes through. Should do a decent chunk of damage. It does over half, which is amazing, as they go for a Psychic and take out Lycanroc. So Lycanroc did good. He got the Stealth Rocks up. He also got the Stone Edge off on the Indeedee, which is great. As now we can just go into whatever we want, really, and revenge kill this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm thinking Toedscruel, just because we can take Psychic easily and we can go for a knockoff to finish it off. And that'll also mean if they switch out, we're going to get a knockoff off on something else. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into our Toedscruel. There we go. Magical comes on in. Looking good. We can just go for a knockoff and take this thing out with a knockoff real quick. They go for a Healing Wish, which is interesting. So Healing Wish comes through. Not sure why, other than to get a free switch in with something else. They probably go into the Armarouge right now. Yeah, because knockoff doesn't work if they go for a Healing Wish. So that's unfortunate. We didn't get a knockoff of anything. As they do bring in the Armarouge. So Armarouge comes on in. This thing is a terrifying threat in the OU tier. Well, not in the OU tier, but in general, it's a terrifying threat. Expanding Force from this thing is going to hurt everything that comes in. I don't have Earth Power on this particular one. I can go for a Spore if I really want to. I think I am going to go for a Spore because I know we can take an Armor Cannon, no problem. As there's the Armor Cannon comes through. Damage-wise, we can live. I knew we could live at least one because I've faced my fair share of Indeedee Armarouge cores with this team. Luckily, so they do reveal they are Life Orb, which is amazing. We go ahead and put them to sleep with the Spore, which is great. As down goes the Armarouge's sleepiness. So that's great. What we can do now is, I don't see any hazard. Well, no, Tinkaton could have Stealth Rocks, to be fair. But yeah, I'm going to go straight for a knockoff this turn because we've got one guaranteed turn of sleep. So we may as well knock off its Life Orb, make it a little bit less threatening. They're going to withdraw the Armarouge for later, which makes a lot of sense. We get to go for a knockoff on something else. They're going to bring in the Tinkaton, which is absolutely fine. Tinkaton comes in nice and shiny as well. Gotta love it. Gets some Stealth Rock damage digging into it, as well as it breaks the mold with the Mold Breaker, which is interesting. So there we go. They go for a knockoff. It's going to do minimal damage to the Tinkaton, but we do knock off its leftovers, which is really good. So that's great for us. Now, if I were them, I'd be worried about the Earth Power right now. But I'm not really too worried about the Tinkaton too much, as we do have the Corviknight in the back. So let's go for the Corviknight real quick, and then we'll just go for a slow U-turn real quick. So let's see what this Tinkaton wants to do. It probably just goes for a Play Rough here, or a knockoff, or a Gigaton Hammer. Hopefully the Play Rough, because then we can get some Rocky Helmet damage off on it, which would be nice. as they do go for the knockoff, which is absolutely fair enough. We get some Rocky Helmet chip damage off on them, which is always nice, as they do knock off our Rocky Helmet, so that's absolutely fine. This turn I'm going to go straight for the U-turn because I'm anticipating them switching out because they can't really touch us. They do withdraw the Tinkaton, which is great. They don't want to get hit by that body press because body press... Corviknight wins this 1v1 if I have body press. So they go into Avalugg, which is absolutely fine by me. And we go for that nice and powerful slow U-turn, break their Sturdy if they've got Sturdy, which they probably have. Sturdy is usually the one that you run on Avalugg. Look how tiny Avalugg is. So weird. Weird looking, man. Weird looking, man. So anyway, we've got a couple of options here. We can go into Rotom. We go for a Hydro Pump, which is going to do a lot of damage. They probably go for a Rapid Spin regardless. Or we go into our Ursaring and get off of that nice and powerful Terrestrialization to block the Rapid Spin. I think that's a good play. I think that's a good play. So we'll go into Ursaring real quick. There we go. We're going to Winnie. Winnie the Pooh. We're going to get burned from the Flame Orb, which is always nice. As what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and Terrestrialize into a Ghost type. And I'm going to go straight for that Close Combat. I believe Close Combat... No, is Facade better here? Facade is better, isn't it? No, I think Guts Boosted Close Combat's a better option here. So let's go for that. We do Terrestrialize, so hopefully we get a free turn here, a free Close Combat, because they're going to go for a Rapid Spin. More than likely go for a Rapid Spin here, I would say. So we're going to Terrestrialize into a Ghost type, block that Rapid Spin, get a free Close Combat off, provided everything goes well. If they go for an Avalanche here, then we're kind of screwed, but it's fine. Go for Close Combat, should do a lot of damage. It 2-hit KOs them, which is amazing, as they pretty much have to go into Dragapult, right? They go for the Rapid Spin as expected, which is amazing. It doesn't affect Winnie, of course. Now, they probably try and get a free switch in with the Dragapult, right? Probably try and get a free switch in with the Dragapult. The Psychic Terrain's gone, which is amazing. The only Pokemon they can really switch in here is going to be the... I'd say the Dragapult. So I want to make that read and go for a Tera Blast. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. They do withdraw the Avalugg, obviously, to try and take a Close Combat better. They're going to go into the Dragapult, probably. Armarouge comes in. Armarouge can definitely take a Close Combat, that's for sure. We're going to go for that nice and powerful Tera Blast. Healing Wish comes through. Wait, what? It does that? I didn't know Healing Wish worked like that. That's really bizarre. Okay, let's do... Whatever. Let's go for a Tera Blast and take it out regardless. As we did predict the switch correctly, as we can go for a Tera Blast now, which is absolutely amazing. Ursaring comes through for us, getting rid of the Armarouge, which is absolutely amazing. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. So, with that in mind, we've got to worry about the Dragapult now, and we've got to worry about the Gallade. Gallade is a very threatening Pokemon, that's for sure. They bring in Dragapult the Rank Master, which is a pretty cool nickname for a Dragapult, to be fair. Get some stones dug in, which is awesome. Now we've got a couple of options. We can go into Toedscruel. I think Toedscruel's the best bet. We'll just sack it off. Because we need to know what kind of Dragapult this is before we start trying to... Because Dragapult's one of them Pokemon that can run a lot of sets. There's a lot of potential sets that this Dragapult can be. The most common is Choice Specs. And nowadays, without Chimpow, they normally run Modest as well. So that's not too bad. They go for a Shadow Ball, proving they are probably Choice Specs. As that's going to take out Magical, unfortunately. So that's down it goes, down it goes. Let's just pick a Pokemon that can go into this thing. I'm actually going to go into Tigglybuff, and the reason I'm going into Tigglybuff right now is simply so I can get a Thunder Wave off on this thing. Thunder Wave is going to cripple anything on their team as well, which is amazing. So let's go for the Thunder Wave real quick, and if they switch Avalugg in, it gives us a free switch into Ursaring, because they're going to no doubt try and get rid of the Stealth Rocks. They're actually going to Terrestrialize their Dragapult, which is interesting. Are they going to go Ghost type to get that extra power on the Shadow Ball? Would make a lot of sense if they did. They go for the Steel type, which is interesting. That's going to give it a resistance to our Fairy and Psychic type moves, which it didn't have before. They go for a Shadow Ball. It's going to be boosted by Choice Specs, no doubt, but I'm sure we can take it, no problem. As we do take it like a champ, we can go for a Thunder Wave. There we go. Cripple the Dragapult, which is amazing. And then we can set up a Light Screen on its face, which would be absolutely great. There we go. Go for a Light Screen real quick, just to nullify the damage of the Shadow Ball a bit more. As there it goes. There's the Shadow Ball coming through. We shouldn't take this, I don't think, but at least we got the Light Screen up, and now that's going to help us get rid of this Dragapult later down the line, which is absolutely amazing. So what we could do here is, now that it's a Steel type, we could easily go into Rotom-Wash, go for a Hydro Pump. We could go into Ursaring. I'm pretty sure, though, that Ursaring still gets outsped by a Paralyzed Dragapult, so that's a thing we've got to worry about. I think going into Rotom is probably the best bet, because nothing on the team really wants to take a Hydro Pump to the face. especially now that this thing's a steel type. It's going to be neutral to Hydro Pump, which is great. So I'm going to go straight for the Hydro Pump just to get some damage off on this Dragapult. They're going to withdraw the Dragapult. What are they going to go into to take a Hydro Pump, though? That's the real question right now. They're going to go into the Avalugg, which makes a lot of sense. Avalugg is a great one here. We go for the Hydro Pump. We do miss, unfortunately. That is really unfortunate that we missed. So we've got a couple of options. We can either risk missing the Hydro Pump again, or we can go straight into our Ursaring. I'm thinking Ursaring's a good one. Once again, we'll block them from going for Rapid Spin, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. Going to go into the old Ursaring over here. There we go. Ursaring comes through. Blocks the Rapid Spin, which is great. So that was worth it, because now the Stealth Rocks are here to stay, pretty much, as they do not have a good switch into this Pokemon that I'm using right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a Facade, expecting them to go into the Gallade to take the close combat. I think that's their only bet. So I'm going to go for the Facade real quick. They do stay in, however, and are they going to take a Facade? No, they're not. So that's absolutely fine by me. Facade comes through, takes out the Avalugg, no more Stealth Rock Rapid Spinning away for my opponent, which is absolutely amazing. Tinkaton comes in. So Tinkaton is the my opponent's choice of Pokemon to deal with this thing. Obviously, our best bet here is to go into Corviknight, just because Corviknight basically walls this thing to no end. So we'll go into Corviknight real quick. There we go, going to withdraw Winnie real quick, and then we're going to go into Corviknight. So Corviknight can definitely take any hit this thing wants to throw us. If they go for a knockoff, it's going to do minimal damage. They know that they lose this matchup anyway, so Tinkaton comes through with a Thunder Wave, which is interesting. Thunder Wave would definitely have been a pain for my Ursaring, that's for sure. As we can go for a slow U-turn now and get into the Rotom-Wash, so let's go ahead and do that. We'll go for the slow U-turn real quick. They go for a Stealth Rock of their own, which is interesting. Kind of forcing me to go for a Defog with my Corviknight if I want to, but I'm not gonna. Oh, we couldn't move because we were paralyzed. That's unfortunate. So they got a free Stealth Rocks up. So whatever. It's whatever. We could go for a Defog, get rid of the Stealth Rocks, but that get rid of them on their side of the field, and I kind of want them for whittling away at the team. So I'm gonna go for a U-turn real quick and get on out of there. Hopefully we're not fully paralyzed this turn. They do go for another knockoff, which is fine by me. We got fully paralyzed once again, which is really unfortunate. And you know what's funny? I had a battle with this team. And my opponent got paralyzed 6 times in a row in front of Tigglybuff. It was absolutely crazy. So now they're going to withdraw the Tinkaton. They're going to go into Dragapult, the Rank Master, which makes a lot of sense. Dragapult coming in makes a lot of sense to me. It's going to get some little bit of chip damage from the Stealth Rocks, as we are going to go ahead and go for a U-turn, not getting fully paralyzed, which is amazing. And we're going to go back into Rotom. Rotom is definitely our penultimate option here. Definitely, for sure, the best option we can go for. So I'm going to go into it real quick. There we go. In comes Bosche, the Rotom-Wash. Lovely jubbly. Nice and powerful. Pointing Stones are going to dig in, which is unfortunate. And the light screen does wear off, which is also unfortunate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight for a Hydro Pump. I see absolutely no reason not to. Hydro Pump comes through and misses, of course. Because it's Hydro Miss, as they go for a Draco Meteor, and they also miss. So no one's hitting moves this turn, which is really unfortunate, but at least we didn't lose anything from it other than 1 PP. So we'll go for a Hydro Pump. They do withdraw the Dragapult this turn, which makes a lot of sense. They don't want to get hit by that Hydro Pump, and they're going to go back into Tinkaton, which is also a pretty good play on my opponent's behalf. So that's fair enough. Let's see how much damage this Hydro Pump does, if we can hit it. Let's hope we can hit it. As we go for the Hydro Pump, we do hit it, which is amazing. Nearly does the, it does 50% of the remaining HP of Tinkaton, which is amazing. So let's go for a Hydro Pump real quick. We do miss this time, unfortunately. God, Hydro Pump's just not hitting today for some reason. As they go for a knockoff, and that's going to obviously make us no longer choice Scarfed. So that's absolutely fine. I'm going to go for another Hydro Pump anyway, just to get some damage off on this thing, as we do miss once again, which is really unfortunate. Our Hydro Miss is just not doing very well. It's not doing very well this game, as we miss again. We miss Hydro Pump again. We miss it one more time. They go for a knockoff. They're just willing away at us because we can't seem to hit Hydro Pump. We've got 2 left. We better hit both of these, Rotom. You hear me? Hydro Pump comes through. There we go. Takes out the Tinkaton, which is absolutely amazing. As down it goes. So Tinkaton goes down, which is amazing. In comes the Gallade. So Gallade comes in. Now, unless it's Choice Scarf, we definitely outspeed it, which is good to know. We do have a good switch in being Corviknight, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I think Corviknight is the best switch in. There we go. Going to withdraw Rotom-Wash. We're going to go into our Corviknight real quick. There we go. And then we'll see if we can take a hit from this Gallade, no problem, right? We can take a hit from this Gallade, no problem, right? Go on, let's take it. Sacred Sword comes through. It two-shots us, and they are Life Orb, which is good to know. So that's unfortunate that it two-shots us, but what can you do? A Sacred Sword comes through, down we go. So that's unfortunate. That is real unfortunate right there. It's Life Orb, though, which is an interesting choice. So we do outspeed with Rotom, so I'm going to go into Rotom once again. I'm going to try and burn this thing. I think our only chance is that if we burn this thing, and then Ursaring can live an attack from it. That's like our only chance right now. So we go for a Will-O-Wisp. Hopefully we can connect the Will-O-Wisp. That'd be nice. We do unfortunately miss the Will-O-Wisp because Rotom just can't seem to hit a move this game. And we're going to get taken out by the Psycho Cut. That's really unfortunate right there. Really unfortunate right there. Damn. What can I do about that, though? What can I really do about that? Nothing, really. So we'll go into Winnie. We're going to Winnie over here. Hopefully they don't have Night Slash. If they have Night Slash, it's all over. If they don't have Night Slash and they have Psycho Cut, we might live one and be able to take it out of Facade. So let's try it. They go for a Psycho Cut. They don't have Night Slash. We don't live, unfortunately, as that's going to be the game. So we did get some unfortunate hacks that game. My opponent played really well, though. You can't really fault them for it. It's not exactly their fault that there was hacks. GG indeed, Pokemaster. Thank you for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, leave a like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And with that being said, I'll see you all in a bit.